News.mc on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
My name is Elena Baranova. I am professor in personalized genomics and anti-aging. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, from the family of 5 generations doctors and famous scientists. I had the chance to study in St. Petersburg and essentially particularly living in my family. It was a big pleasure to study there. This academy is originally of Pavlov, whom you know, there's a Nobel Prize in Medicine and Physiology, and he worked there, so the traditions of medicine in Russia are very respected, and I've learned a lot. And then I've been invited to work in France. It was a very difficult period for Russia. It was in the 90s, and I'm very bad in geography, so I found myself in Clermont-Ferrand. I had just 3 months to learn French and to start to give lectures. But Clermont-Ferrand is the biggest center of world-known endoscopic gynecology, and I had a chance to work the world leaders in this field. My parents are also doctors, so when you're born in it, it's sort of an evidence. By the way, my brother is also a doctor. So. My first visit in Monaco was as a tourist. It was in 1997 when I've been invited to the International Congress in Genetics, which took place in Nice. And that time first I came to Monaco just as a tourist. All was very friendly, all environment was very friendly, very smart. I'm sensitive to it. And also I loved a lot to see the streets, like street of Diaghilev in Monaco. When the World Congress of Anti-Aging Medicine started to take place in Monaco. And it was in the early spring. And I came from the center of France, and here everything was in blossom, in mimosa. And for me it was like certitude that I have to live there. Why I don't live here? Why? What's wrong with me? You know, that was my question. Why I don't live here? And the desire was so strong. A couple of years later, the life is, amazing, because the life is more rich than imagination. So at that time, I've met the man of my life. We moved to live at Côte d'Azur, but not in Monaco yet. And a couple of years later, I've been invited, due to my professional achievements, to give a talk in Monaco, and I've been invited to work and live in Monaco. I have to say that I have never changed my Russian nationality, so I was 75th Russian who got the residence at that time. I have Monaco in my heart. When I awake each morning here, I'm so happy to see the sea, so grateful to be here. But of course, I love Russia, I'm Russian, and I combine, and I think it's a perfect combination, Russia and Monaco. The definition of anti-aging is tricky because, as you say, of course, there are a lot of talks about it, a lot of charts, but to be honest, there are not so many professionals in this field. I will give you a scientific definition of aging coming from our DNA, because the aging is considered to be the decline of gene expression. So when gene expression, the activity of our genes decrease, all processes in our body start to decrease, including hormones, including neurotransmitters, molecules which help to our brain activity, etc. And I have a chance to be in the beginning when the genomic medicine was born, when anti-aging was born. I've got the first World Prize of the research in this particular field. It was in Canada. And of course, it pushed my career up to being the Woman of the Year in France, for exceptional career, the Woman of the Year in Moscow. I became the youngest professor. All these things were because I was just doing what I really liked to do. This is a big luxury of my life, to do what I really want and like to do. Altogether, this knowledge of genomics, medicine, biochemistry, psychology, I'm qualified in some method of psychology as well, actually putting together give us integrative, advanced, personalized anti-aging approach of today. And it's nothing to have with aesthetics. Well, aesthetics, of course, is very important, but very often there is a confusion because we talk about aesthetics, thinking that we talk about anti-aging. It's like imagine the house. You want to restore old house. If you just paint the walls, it wouldn't help from inside. So I'm happy to say that my work and real anti-aging today consists of change and adapt your metabolic processes to your environment according to your genes, according to your desires, what is very important. Because if we tell you, eat green vegetables, drink 1 glass of red wine, do some sports, be careful, go to sleep very early. It doesn't make people really happy, not all of them. Because what is important about life is the joy, it's the way how you enjoy it. Of course, we think of nutrition of the first place because it's all regarding brain activity. And this field is called psychogenetics. And yes, it influences a lot. And even people who don't know anything about genetics in these sophisticated fields, they understand that their level of stress became higher in the 21st century. The life became quicker, much quicker. Our cells don't react at the same way. Our nervous system doesn't react at the same way. And our gene expression also changes a lot and has to be very, very performant during our life. So with the nutrigenetics, we get up to 15 years of active life without cancer protection. As an expert, I see a lot of medical mistakes because I see only difficult cases. I found the only one solution. Of course, I used to teach doctors for more than 20 years, practically 30 years. I started to teach public. I think it's very important to pass the right message to the public. That's what I can do at my place as an expert. And you know what is the most important thing? Not what to do, but particularly what you should not do. This is much shorter, more simple to remember. It can be applied at the large scale. For example, one of the myths is you have to eat green vegetables all the time, etc. And even worse, you should drink 1 glass of red wine per day. It was very popular at a certain moment, and some people, they like to remember it, because it arranges their behavior. So both is wrong. First of all, more we need proteins and lipids. And by the way, the other myth is you have to decrease your cholesterol. The key word is harmony. We live in harmony with your genes, mind and body. This is important, to find this harmony. And of course, it's not limited just to the food and drink. I believe that we are all the masters of our destiny, with the help of God. By the way, it has been studied in very particular methods of famous specialists. He is called Da Silva, and he created the method which is called dynamic alpha visualization. You can create the images with your brain. But you should know that our brain thinks by images, not by words, by images. And for our brain, the image, the real one, when you see what is around you, and the imagination is absolutely the same. But when you create positive images, which in fact reflect your major goals, what you would like to achieve, your brain somehow, we don't know how, but we know that this is the fact. I remember one case in the beginning of my practice, of my consultations in this field of personalized genomics, anti-aging. I saw a man who is a big guy, a big chief, VIP person, about 50-something, just perfect. After 1 hour and a half of conversation, I couldn't find any mistake in his nutrition, physical activity, sleep, etc. So I asked him, what's happening? Why are you here? How can I help you? And he started to cry and he said, my wife left me and I'm very unhappy. Try to be in harmony with your mind, with your desires. This is the basis. After it, everything will be easy. And the main criteria of psychological aging, it can be measured through the number of projects. The more projects you have, the more desires, the more plans, the younger you are. The rest can follow.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching News.mc, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover more interviews and stories on our websites, news.mc and monacoinfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.